My people who are called by my name shall humble themselves, pray, seek, crave and require of necessity my face, and turn from their wicked ways. Then will I hear from heaven, forgive their sin, and heal their land.
The answer to the ills of our nation, the path to the productivity of future generations, lies in the power of prayer. Consistent, corporate, and united prayer.
As society gets darker and the evils of our time increase, God's answer is always the same. Call unto me, and I will answer thee, and show you great and mighty things. Montgomery, it's time to pray. And the Montgomery House of Prayer and Worship provides such a place.
The Montgomery House of Prayer and Worship is a house of prayer and worship patterned after Revelation chapter 5 verse 8. In Revelation chapter 5 verse 8, you see the elders before the throne of God. In one hand they have vials of incense, in another hand they have harps. The harps represent worship. The vials of incense represent prayer. So prayer and worship constantly go before God. And the idea of the Montgomery House of Prayer and Worship is that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, worship and prayer comes from Montgomery, Alabama to the throne of God. And any city that has a gift of that is a gift to that city. David understood that concept. David, King David in the Bible, had 4,000 full-time musicians and worshipers and 288 prophetic singers that consistently before God praised him night and day. And that's the whole idea behind it. Now, any church is allowed to take a 2-hour slot, and during that 2-hour slot, they can pray in the way they're most comfortable. But the idea is to keep prayer and worship going before God 24/7 in this city.
Prayer meetings have always been used as part of a catalyst for revival. We can see an amazing piece of history here in America. In 1857, there were 30,000 men out of work in New York City. Drunkenness was rampant, and the nation was divided by slavery. Out of a city of 1 million people, only 6 people showed up, and they were a half hour late. But the group decided to meet the next week, in which there were 14 in attendance. The following week there were 23, and the week after that there were 40. Within weeks there were thousands of business leaders meeting daily. God moved so powerfully that a prayer meeting spread across the nation.
The House of Prayer is a place where you can feel God's presence the moment you come through the door, and you know that there's intercession happening.
The Montgomery House of Prayer has been an awesome experience for me. Every time we come in during the revival cry, the presence of God is there. And to be in God's presence, you're always changed.
And we're seeing great miracles happen, and particularly at noontime when we have these prayer meetings and worship. God's doing a wonderful thing, and I'm excited that the body of Christ is coming together to do this. It's wonderful.
A place where there's worship, where there's praying going on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on a continuous basis until the Lord's return.
It's affected my family, it's affected my children, it's also affected my business. And there's no other place that I would be outside of the Montgomery House of Prayer. It's just been an awesome experience.
So I'm blessed. I am greatly blessed every time I come through the door, and to be a part of what God is doing here.
And I tell you, I believe God will arise and hear those prayers and bless our city in ways we can't even imagine. I will see you at the Montgomery House of Prayer and Worship.